Can a luxury cruise be fun for a whole multi-generational family? Or can a cruise ship of 900 plus guests still be considered as real luxury cruising? Let me share with you my honest view. A family story about our last family vacation a few days ago on board the Explora I. The first time I stepped on board the Explora I was August 2023, the inaugural cruise. Everything was bright new, elegant, peaceful, undiscovered, with no more than 400 guests on board. And it still felt like it was a kind of secret. In many ways, to me, it felt like the future of luxury cruising. In summer 2024, I returned on board with my family and my two teenage boys
on a beautiful voyage from Athens to Istanbul for a family vacation.
It felt refined, it felt intimate, and just a few days ago I was back for the third time. Same ship, same brand. But this time there was a difference.
This time the Explora I is sailing at its full capacity.
Fully booked, over 900 guests on board, including many families with young children and young adults, and quite a few new faces amongst the crew, or actually hosts. So the big question I had before boarding was, is the Explora I still the ship I felt in love the past years, even at full capacity? Will the experience on board still feel like a luxury cruise travel? Stay with me and I will tell you in this video my honest opinion. But first, let me start with another family story. The Swiss, Geneva-based Explora Journeys, it was built from a family dream, a vision of the Aponte Vago family, and brought to life by an incredibly talented team of luxury hospitality professionals. And let's go back to the beginning of my story, to the beautiful city of Sorrento, the hometown of Captain Gianluigi Aponte, founder and still chairman of the MSC Group. In the 70s, Captain Gianluigi Aponte started to build one of the most respected shipping empires in the world. Starting from container vessels and to MSC Cruises, launched in the late 80s as the cruise brand of the MSC Group. And as you know, MSC Cruises focus on the contemporary market and growing so fast, being now the fourth largest cruise corporation in the world and the largest private cruise corporation in the world. Explora Journeys became a family project under the leadership of Pier Francesco Vago, the executive chairman of the MSC Cruises Group. And the Aponte Vago family and their fantastic team created Explora from scratch. They did not buy a luxury cruise brand in the market, and they could have easily done so, as they do not lack of liquidity. They started new, they started fresh, with a new idea, a cosmopolitan European-style resort at sea. A luxury cruise brand rooted in European elegance and a profound connection with the ocean. And they call it the ocean state of mind. And let me come back to beautiful Sorrento in the Bay of Naples. Have you ever been there? The deep connection of beautiful Sorrento with the Mediterranean Sea is reflected in the philosophy and design of the Explora I. You can feel it, and it is part of the brand philosophy. Once you're on board the Explora I, it all makes sense. The ship is simply stunning. 4 outdoor pools, infinity oversized jacuzzis overlooking the ocean, an impressive spa with the indoor pool, and all balcony suites. The design is something truly unique for a ship of this size. And when I stepped on board the first time, I immediately felt that sense of European elegance. As I mentioned, this summer the Explora I was sailing at full capacity during our cruise. And was it really a different experience compared to my previous voyages? Yes, a bit. And I will be honest with you. It was still refined, it was still beautiful, but naturally we did experience some small hiccups. The embarkation in Genoa was not that smooth, mainly due to late arrival of the custom police. It was not Explora's fault, but I believe the terminal process could have been handled a bit better. The marketplace and embarkation was a bit overcrowded during lunch, and it is understandable, as hundreds of guests arrived at the same time. In this occasion, we did not receive the same attention by the host as our previous experience. For example, it took a little bit of time before we were offered a welcome champagne. It is only a minor detail, but we are talking about luxury. During the only sea day, we could not find at the peak hour of the day a sun lounger near the main pools. This only during the peak hour of the afternoon. We had to go on the upper deck, on deck 12, which at that time did not have enough shade. And during this cruise, restaurants like Med Yacht Club and Fil Rouge strongly advise reservations. Last summer it was not necessary. For example, this summer, one dinner we were kind of turned away by the Med Yacht Club, or better, they offered a table at 9 p.m, which was a bit too late for us. My suggestion is reserve early. We also noticed that some hosts on board just joined Explora Journeys. The brand is growing, and it is normal that there is new staff joining, but some of them were not at the same level as the others. But despite these moments and these details, the ship still felt balanced and comfortable. And let me clarify, generally, the service was absolutely great. And we were so happy to see so many hosts from our previous cruises. And I will tell you, some aspects were even better than before. Now let's talk about the food. Dining on Explora I remained a great experience. I still consider Explora one of the best brands for food lovers. Fil Rouge was a standout. I had a dinner that could rival any French fine dining restaurant on land. Excellent service and execution. At the Med Yacht Club, we loved the tapas to share, including pata negra iberico ham. But I must confess, at the Med Yacht Club, we had a risotto with mushrooms, risotto ai funghi, which was a bit undercooked, and the carbonara this time lacked of guanciale. You know, I'm picky, I know, because I'm Italian, but it did not feel as genuine as the last times. The Sakura, the Pan-Asian restaurant, is absolutely amazing. We did enjoy a wonderful dinner here, outdoor during a departure from Corfu. It was a wonderful sunset and it was absolutely a fantastic experience. Something that the Mediterranean Sea in summer can offer. If you're a sushi lover, you can enjoy by Sakura a fantastic sushi lunch, or you can even get a bento box to take at the pool. Marble & Co was a beautiful steakhouse, consistent as our previous experiences. As I said, a beautiful steakhouse, but to my opinion, it could be elevated even more. The marketplace remains a gem, perfect for breakfast, lunch, or even a relaxed dinner with a view. And are you a pizza lover like I am? Then you should try the pizza at the marketplace. Incredible, authentic, fresh, and very Neapolitan. I always add one slice or our liquid. And at the marketplace there is much more. Fresh, homemade à la minute risotto and pastas, sushi every lunch and dinner, and lobster tails and oysters every dinner. You can even create your own ceviche. The marketplace is not really a buffet. The host will plate your selection beautifully for you, and many dishes are cooked à la minute, so much more and more elevated than a typical buffet. We also enjoyed several times the complimentary 24/7 in-room dining for snacks, particularly in the afternoon. Explora offers also a all-inclusive, customizable minibar in every suite. And the inclusive drinking package was certainly premium. I enjoyed some great cocktails as usual, and my cruise favorite this time was the Stinger as a nightcap. And as an old-fashioned lover, I again enjoyed some incredible, perfectly crafted old-fashions at the whiskey bar. Try them and you will not be disappointed. You can even enjoy your drinks outdoor at the beautiful outdoor terrace of the Explora Lounge. Regarding accommodation, we had again two beautiful communicating ocean terrace suites, which was just perfect for a family of 4 with 2 young adults. I must note that the suites were impressively soundproofed, with a double connecting door, a detail that for me can make the difference. Also because I'm a very light sleeper, it shows how good the design is. The Explora I has 411 all-balcony suites, all extremely well appointed, with beautiful European design and all designed with a beautiful walk-in closet.
In the area of connectivity, I really appreciated the Wi-Fi connection speed of the Explora I, even at full capacity. We could connect up to 3 devices per person. The Wi-Fi connection was consistently enough to stream even on YouTube, and I could work with my devices without any problem.
And yes, sometimes I have to work when I'm on vacation, but it is because I love what I do, right? And now, in my opinion, a plus compared to the previous cruises, the entertainment and vibe. Evenings on the Explora I were soft and elegant, a kind of relaxed, sophisticated resort style, with not stiff dress codes. There are not really production shows on Explora, but tasteful performers and high-quality musicians in the Journey Lounge. And then a lovely surprise that I really appreciated this cruise, something that I actually suggested to the Explora team during my previous cruises. There was a DJ Petros, and it was great. We had a lot of fun at the Sky Bar on deck 14, during sailaways, and even one evening till late. DJ Petros performed club-style Ibiza beach club music. It was just perfect. Great vibe and truly appreciated by many guests, and of course a house music lover as I am. And I would love to see even more of it the next cruise. And that is the beauty of the Explora I. With so many lounges and bars, indoors and outdoors, you can choose your mood, quiet, relaxing, or a bit younger and upbeat, like a sophisticated beach club style. In fact, what I've noticed is that the demographic of Explora is younger than its competitors, and in many ways it is a good sign for Explora. Let me be clear, you might love it, like I do, or maybe not, depending on your taste and personal situation. When I sailed a few days ago, it was just the peak of the summer vacation in Europe. But my teenagers really appreciated it. They made a lot of friends of their age, and that was a big plus for us. You know, when you're traveling with teenagers or young children, you want them to be happy. And that is a key aspect of Explora I would like to highlight to you. Explora is a luxury cruise brand that truly welcomes families and offers multi-generational experiences. As I said, our 18 and 16 years old sons had a great time. They especially enjoyed the dining experience, the wellness and fitness areas, and the various pools and lounges. You might love that energy, or maybe you might prefer something quieter. But remember, on the Explora I, there are adults-only areas such as the Helios pool and the Atoll pool, so you can actually choose the vibe that is fitting your preference. And I think the ship is also ideal for private or even corporate events, such as birthdays, milestone celebration as weddings, or even incentive programs, and even full charters. There are elegant spaces, there is a contemporary cosmopolitan luxury design, and a beautiful vibe. If you are curious about hosting a group or an event at sea, or even chartering a luxury cruise ship such as the Explora I, feel free to contact me. I will be happy to offer you free expert advice and to share with you what is possible. Our cruise began in Genoa, Liguria, Italy, with stops in Civitavecchia, Corfu in Greece, Kotor in Montenegro, Split and Rovinj in Croatia, and we ended in Venice at the Fusina terminal. A stunning Mediterranean route, and we were blessed with perfect weather and incredible sunsets every single day. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of Civitavecchia on a luxury cruise ship such as the Explora I, as it is mainly used to visit Rome, a wonderful world city. But in summer it's very hot and very busy. But the rest of the itinerary, Corfu, Kotor, Split and Rovinj, really delivered. And our favorite destinations for this cruise, Kotor was a real pearl, a gem in Montenegro. You should visit Kotor, it is beautiful. And Rovinj in Croatia was also beautiful. Two gems of the Adriatic Sea. And both of these ports were served by ship tenders. The operation was very smooth, even at full capacity. Kudos to the Explora team. Well done. And as I promised you in my previous video, here are some tips for pre- and post-cruise in Italy. Before boarding in Genoa, we stay one night in Santa Margherita Ligure. It is a gem of the Ligurian coast, very close to Portofino, highly recommended. Great food, great views, bellissimo. And after disembarkation in Venice, we stay one night at the Historica Villa Villa Condumere in the countryside of Mogliano Veneto, near Venice, to catch up with my family. And then we headed north to South Tyrol. Just at the border with Austria, we stayed at a wonderful Kellenhof Spa and Resort for 3 nights. We spent some amazing days in the mountains. It was fantastic, and I also highly recommend it to you. Just 3.5 hours driving from Venice. If you'd like to extend your cruise with these hidden Italian gems, I left some links for you in the description. And yes, after 30 years connected to the cruise industry, I know some people. And one of the most touching surprises of the cruise was meeting the captain in command, Sebastiano Crisan, a friend from my nautical school days in Venice, and we both worked for a brief period at Costa Cruises. We enjoyed some lovely after-dinner chats under the stars, remembering the good old times. Thank you so much, Captain Crisan. You are a top leader, Venetian in your soul, like me, and I'm proud to see you in command of such a beautiful ship. And last year, the Explora I was commanded by Captain Pietro Sinisi, another friend and former fantastic, highly skilled Costa colleague. Both are 2 top caliber captains, and shows that the Explora attracts the highest caliber professionals with the highest safety and service standards. And what about the Mediterranean sunsets on board? Simply amazing. They did remind me how much I love cruising and the ocean emotions and state of mind that only cruising can give you. So to come back to my initial question, was Explora I still the ship I felt in love 2 years ago? Well, the final answer is yes, it was. Perhaps a little different. Yes, there were some small hiccups, but it was also more alive than before, and we just enjoyed so much as a family. We built some amazing family memories, and that's what is important, and it was absolutely worth it. So to the experienced cruise travelers, can Explora deliver true luxury with 900 plus guests? To me, the answer is yes, but it depends also on what you are looking for. If you like very small ship experiences, like 100 to 400 guests, maybe Explora is not the perfect match for you. If you like very traditional luxury cruise experiences with an older demographic, perhaps Explora is not at the top of your list. But for my personal and family preference, in terms of design, size, venues, and multi-generational experience, I believe Explora is one of the best cruise lines today. And let me be clear, the perfect cruise line does not exist. It is the one that best fits your needs and preferences. Thank you so much for watching, my dear friends. Stay connected for more content coming soon. And wherever your next voyage takes you, I wish you wonderful journeys. Thank you and ciao from Andrea.